Are you excited for this halftime show?
I don't want to say I'm not excited. She's fantastic. That's not where I'm going with this.
Okay, where you going?
Ladies and gentlemen, she's a lot of things. She's spectacular, actually.
Yes.
And congratulations on new mamahood.
Yes.
There's one thing she's not.
Uh-huh.
She ain't Beyonce.
Oh boy. Stephen A. Smith, I'm just gonna get right to it. I'm going to be talking about what Stephen A. Smith said. I want to play the whole thing, but I'm pretty sure I'll get copyrighted or something like that. But I'll probably just put what he basically said. But Stephen A. Smith learned a valuable lesson. Now, I want y'all to understand this, that Stephen A. Smith is from the sports world. And from a sports world where in sports it's a competition. So in the world of competition, your job is to be better than your predecessors. So if someone say A is better than B, yes, it's a value of opinion, but also you have the stats to back it up. So so when you come from that world, what he's saying is normal. Now, what are we talking about? Stephen A. Smith was on Sherry Shepherd's, and Sherry Shepherd asked, like, what do you think about Rihanna doing the Super Bowl? And he basically said, I think she's going to do a good job, but I don't know if it's going to be better than Beyonce. I'm paraphrasing, but it's basically just like, she ain't Beyonce. And he got some backlash, and he even explained himself. He was just like, I think Rihanna's phenomenal. The same thing he does for LeBron, because the same thing he does for LeBron or any other person that, when they're not doing good, he'll do this. I love him to death. He's one of the best players, but if he's not playing well, he's going to tell you he's not playing well. It's just that even though he said, I ain't call him bad, I just said he's not playing to the level that, we know him for playing as. He's type that person. Now, Rihanna hasn't had an album since 2016. I think it's 2016. Anti. Let's just say Anti. Beyonce, I think she has had 2 albums since then. So, and plus, so Beyonce has modern music. Other than the song that Rihanna put out for Black Panther soundtrack, in which I'm pretty sure that got 1 million views in like a half an hour. I'm not sure. But she got a fan base. Rihanna, obviously, the Rihanna Navy. A lot of people love Rihanna. They buy Fenty in bulk. She is a billionaire off of the Fenty line, and she's done. In my opinion, she done so fucking well with the Fenty line that she ain't got to but she ain't got to put out another fucking album. So, a lot of people waiting for an album, and it's like, and I say that we're not getting another album from Rihanna. She's making too much money doing this Fenty shit, But what Stephen A. Smith, he didn't say nothing bad about Rihanna. He just said she's not Beyonce, who is Beyonce? Now, like I said, me as someone that knows Stephen A. and watches a lot of sports debate shows, I understood what he said. He's just like, what I seen from Beyonce is the pinnacle of Super Bowl performances, and it's like, in order for you to impress me or amaze me, you got to have a Beyonce level performance, in which that's his opinion. That's what a lot of people. He's like, he's not comparing. He's just saying that he is spoiled by the Beyonce performance, and I feel like anything else is not going to top that Beyonce performance. People, we do this all the fucking time. If your mama makes, let's just say, if your mama makes the best chocolate cake, and you taste other people's chocolate cake, and you ask, how does my chocolate taste? And you go, it's good, but it's not like my mama's cake. Like, my mama's cake is top notch. And, this is okay. But it doesn't have that kick that my mama's cake. You know why? Because my mama's cake is put at such a standard that, Anything else is below that. It's just like you gotta match that, or it won't be matched. A lot of people do this. What Stephen A. Smith said or did, a lot of people done. Now the thing about Rihanna is her fan base is solid. Is the Beehive, the Barbs, even though no one is afraid of the Barbs, but the Barbs be strong out there, and the Rihanna Navy. I believe they're called the Rihanna Navy. Rihanna fans, obviously she ain't gotta be, she not Beyonce, she Rihanna. Rihanna does so much. And the thing is, it's just like, I knew this was going to happen because if you're not, like I said, you're not, one, it's like, pop culture is not really in a competitive field, and I don't know if Rihanna strives to be the greatest performer of all time. But I know Beyonce, the way she work and her work ethic, you can tell she wants to have the best performances just like of all time. Same thing with Michael. Same thing with, any male rapper that tells you I'm the best rapper alive. They're just like, ain't no rapper fucking with me. Now, the thing is, men in general, we are competitive. We are competitive by nature. So, we are competitive by nature, which is why another reason why I didn't have a problem with that, because you could tell from a competition. You could tell Stephen A. Smith. He was like, if I'm on the show, I am the best. Like I am who people are going to see, and I deliver. Try to deliver top notch performances. That's how most people are. That's why you get paid the big bucks. Like I said, it's a competitive nature. You want to be the best. You want to have the number one show. I'm not saying women aren't competitive, but men, we most likely live our lives around it. Like, who could do this better? And also, the reason why I say everybody else do it, because like, we do it for everything else. Like, that's how things get made. Like verses. Who you thinking to win if you put 20 songs? Like, that's why I like people like verses. If you put 20 songs from your favorite artist, who you think would come out top? That's why you got, Gucci Mane versus Jeezy. You got Brandy and Monica, Earth, Wind and Fire versus the Isley Brothers. That's why people like verses. People was in a house and all that stuff. And, Eve versus Trina. They love each other, but it's just like, competition-wise, I want to show you I got the hits. That shit's it. What was it? You can sometimes you can see the real competition, like the one with all the R&B singers, Ray J, Sammy, Bobby Valentino, and Pleasure P. You can see the competition, and then you see Omarion and Mario, and you can see how competitive them niggas was. It's just, I do this R&B shit. You could, like, niggas is competitive. They may fuck with each other. That's your mans, especially like the Locks and Dipset. Like, those are my homies. But I'm here to fuck you up. And that's how men are. And that's where the word Stephen A. Smith comes from. The reason why, now the backlash he's getting, I expected that too, because, I'm sorry. I expected that too, because this is just like, first of all, as a fan base, you don't want to hear nothing bad about someone saying so. The Beehive, Nicki Minaj, and Rihanna Navy. I'm pretty sure there's other Doja Cat fan base too. It's just like Doja Cat fan. For some reason, Doja Cat could do anything she wants, and niggas defend the fuck out of Doja Cat. She's been an incel fucking. I've never seen someone that do so much incel shit, and everybody look at her as just, so what? So what? But that's another. But that's another blog that I am going to put out sooner or later. Do I think Stephen A. Smith should apologize? No, that was his opinion. He's spoiled. He's not Beyonce. Everybody does that. It's just like it's just, most people hate it when it's like your favorite artist or your favorite show, like Bel Air. It's like a lot of people was just like, when they was doing a reimagining of Bel Air where it's more serious, and everybody was just like, I don't want them to ruin the nostalgia I have of Bel Air. And people do it. It's like why people don't like reimagining of old shows like Velma. I heard Velma is getting like fucking shitted on, and other stuff where they change things up with like franchises, and then they just butcher it. People don't like that. It's just, Which is why I said if Martin ever get a reboot, I don't want it because a lot of people will not appreciate Martin in its entirety and what it was. And like this modern audience would not a lot of things, and I say this all the time, a lot of things you see in Martin, and everybody loves Martin, but everybody also knows this. He can't get away with that in this fucking era. Martin would be canceled in this fucking era. Now, Martin in the 90s, it was special because, that's how shows was made in the 90s. And he was able to do what he want to. So, even though, like, Tashina Arnold, you hear Tashina Arnold many a times and said, I love working on that show. We was cracking up. They let us do what he want. And even though there's plenty of times where fucking Pam got her ones up on Martin, a lot of people, if they see like Martin getting on Pam right now, it's just like, he's just a hater or, all that other blah, blah, blah. This shit is problematic. You keep talking about black women and all that other stuff. That's the reason why I don't want Martin as a reboot Martin. Because y'all will fucking problematic that shit to the ground. And the reason why I know this, because when I was doing my reviews on all the UPN shows, I've seen a lot of reviews from women. It's so problematic now. It's problematic now. Now look at this as adult. It's problematic now. Even though it was just made in the 90s, there's a lot of problematic things that, people don't talk about. And it's just like, it's a comedy. It's a comedy. It's supposed to be over the top. It's supposed to be like extra. And that's how I look at things. It's just like, even like Boondocks, like they asked, how come there's no black women? And Aaron McGruder literally said, and this was in the conversation, y'all don't want that. You see how we get on how they get on niggas? Y'all would fucking eat him alive the way you get on, and that's why. Yeah, and look no further than the 2 episodes. The one where Aisha Tyler was on the Killer Kung Fu Crazy Wolf bitch. That was the 1 episode, and I bet you like if he would have made that episode in this era. Oh man, and even though I do want Boondocks because I feel like Boondocks would definitely run with this Kevin Samuels shit. I would love to see what they do with Kevin Samuels and the whole High Value Man thing. But I'm getting further. I'm rambling. I don't think Stephen A. should apologize. Actually, if anything, he gave it somewhat of an apology, but he also doubled down at the same time. And he should. He should. That's what I meant. I'm spoiled. And like I said, a lot of people are like that, but a lot of people don't admit. There's a lot of things that a lot of people do that a lot of people don't admit. And then, like, when you point it out, it's like, I don't do that. And then when you give them perfect examples of when you do that, it's like, they act like, I don't really do that. It's like, bruh, I just see you do that. I've seen people do that before. Where it's just like, you point it out and they don't want to they want to admit that they do that. It's very annoying. So, yeah, I don't knock what Stephen A. Smith did. That's what he does. And he was brutally honest. But he knew he was going to stir something up because like I said, he tried to layer it on thick the same way he do with LeBron. And this is the last thing I want to pull up because a lot of black women do this, and this annoys me. It's like when a person gives an opinion like that, we're trying to put black women against each other. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. Everybody has their favorites. If y'all ask you for your top 5, obviously your number 1 is obviously you think this number 1 is better than other people's number 1. And if they're not in your top 5, you be like, how the fuck you didn't put this in top 5? You know how? Because the Rolling Stones article, Michael Jackson was at number 86. And niggas had a problem with Michael Jackson at 86. They said, how the fuck you don't have Michael Jackson at 86? I mean, how the fuck you don't have Michael Jackson in your top 10? And that's what a lot of people were saying. It's like the greatest singers of all time, Michael Jackson at 86. You mean the same guy that motherfucking, when he did the Super Bowl, all nigga did was look left and the whole fucking stadium faint? You mean the same Michael Jackson that when he fucking steps on stage, motherfuckers lose their fucking mind? The same Michael Jackson where this nigga be walking down the street and grown-ass men that fucking bodybuild and beat niggas' asses will cry if Michael Jackson was in their presence? That Michael Jackson? And which is all true, because grown-ass, I say grown-ass nigga cry for Michael Jackson. Oh shit, that's Michael. That's motherfucking Michael Jackson. Oh my God, that's Michael. Yeah, niggas do that all the fucking time. In conclusion, stay your ground, Stephen A. Smith. I didn't have a problem with what you said, but at the same time, you got to know what area you in. Even though, like, that shit could work in first take, but that shit is because the way women are, and I will stand on this. The way women are, even though they do it them fucking selves, they don't like hearing that, especially if it's someone they fucking like Rihanna. Because and it doesn't matter how you try to layer it on thick, like talk about her accomplishments, she's phenomenal and all that other stuff. They didn't hear nothing but she ain't Beyonce. Because women are like that. They have selective fucking hearing. You could compliment. Trust me, I've been there where I said, like, I love black women, but if I like give my opinion on black women, some black women was like, just tell me you hate black women. It comes with the territory. And this is why niggas don't argue. This is why people say don't argue with women no more, and because they don't fucking listen. And we tell them all the time, you don't fucking listen. Or you don't listen to the whole argument. You just pick. He's like, she's not Beyonce. It's just like that's how people are. So, but am I wrong? Let me know if I'm wrong or not. I would like to hear from y'all. Today, my name is Oskino Flower, and I'm out. Peace.